The first thing that most young people, and almost everybody thinks of when they hear the word homelessness is the smelly, dirty old fella pushing the cart down the street full of bottles and full of whatever his worldly possessions are, and that's simply just not the case. I mean, typically you could see somebody on the street and have no idea.
Sometimes in our life, we all have pain, we all have sorrow.
Anybody can be homeless. It just takes moving at the wrong time of the year, or if you're not from here and you come down here to live, you've got a job in place and stuff like that.
Lean on me when you're not strong.
Before I got into the sector, my knowledge of housing and homelessness issues was what I think most people's is whatever you see on the news, whatever movies and television are telling you. I mean, I came from a great family, so when I got into the work, I started to see how expansive it was and how many lives are affected by so many different barriers.
When I say I work in housing and homelessness in Labrador, people are definitely surprised that in a rural community it's such a major issue, a major concern.
I don't think anyone's immune from homelessness, especially in today's world. Everyone's about 3 paychecks away, I think, from potentially being on the streets.
If you lose your job and you're looking at a hefty mortgage, you could be required to give up your home, and then you're left without shelter. If you're in a community that you're unaware of or you don't have friends and family, you could be looking at living on the street for a couple of days.
Just imagine if you didn't have that supportive family and those friends around you that helped you through all those tough times. I mean, just imagine if that was a situation where you were completely isolated for the most part from having that really important support network. I mean, just to realize that lifestyle and those things around you are the key to keeping you from falling into that cycle of homelessness that's so hard to break. I mean, yeah, it's a lot more common than you think.
There's a lot of people out there who need that extra help. That it's hard to steer your way through the system sometimes.
I think Housing First is at the top of the list because the inconsistency of waking up at a different place every morning will cause undue stress on your body, and that will affect every other part of your life. What we like to provide is that stable environment for a person to grow.
Housing and finding safe housing is a huge piece of the puzzle, but definitely not the only piece in the work that we do. For some of the people that we work with, it could be something as simple as life skills, like going to the grocery store and learning how to do that, or using transportation. And then for other people, it might be dealing with addictions and substance and drug issues.
If I was to summarize what our sector provides, it would probably be a home, a job, a friend.
I'm a homeless and housing caseworker. I help people find housing.
I'm what they call a youth support worker, so I'm spending pretty much my entire day with youth in that at-risk population.
My role as a housing development coordinator is to work with outside agencies as they develop housing for individuals with multiple and complex needs.
I am a team leader for a project that works in the community with young people.
The thing that surprised me the most about the sector of housing and homelessness in Newfoundland was how progressive the programming and everything that's being put in place to attack housing and homelessness issues.
The fact that government is willing to sit down at the table with the sector and hear what we have to say and take that message back to their boardrooms and really do something different, I think that's pretty amazing.
We're really looking for people who care about other people, bottom line, but also we're looking for people who are tough as nails as well. They got to be able to take what comes along in the day-to-day.
I think the qualities a person would need to work in the sector would be to have a backbone.
I've worked with tons of people who come from recreation, business, fine art, so there's no specific background that gets you to this industry. I definitely think you have to have a passion for people and for helping others.
Anybody at any age, if you're drawn to this kind of work, it doesn't matter what age you are, it could be a career option for you.
think what surprised me most about this sector is just that you're always learning. It's the kind of job you never get to a point where you know everything or you figured everything out, and I think I thought that at first.
Our sector really helps young people build on the strengths they start out with, but it also helps them develop a myriad of soft skills, lots of soft skills, from how to make tough decisions, how to work with other people. And while they're at it, they're going to have a chance to meet their mentors, people that are going to lead them through their career path. They're going to make great connections with all sorts of people, and they're really going to make a difference in people's lives.
The camaraderie that you have with the people that work around you are what help you, manage, what help you learn, what help you vent, deal with the issues you're dealing with yourself. I mean, having a good crew of workers around you is what makes this job the best job there is.
One of the things we always talk about when people are starting new in a shelter is trying to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. It's not always easy. So being on the front lines, you're sort of in their shoes but next door to them. And it's a great opportunity to really get a sense of what's going on in your community and some of the struggles and the issues that are out there in terms of the housing situation.
I can pick up the phone and get the answers and get the support that I need because of the great team we have across the province.
I don't have an average day. Every day is really, really different, which is what I love about it.
I have a lot of friends who work throughout the country in this sector, and the pay and the benefits are on par, if not better, than just about everywhere else in the country, which has been a huge surprise.
I've had the chance to pilot projects and that sort of stuff. So I think what's different is I'm sort of the driver of my own bus, and every day is different.
I think some of the things that young people are surprised with when they come to work in this sector are how much of a difference they feel they can make. I think they like the spirit, they like the energy, and people who get attracted to this sector are people who are really committed to changing things for the better in their communities.
There was a time in my life when I was struggling with a lot of mental health issues myself. The one thing I think I remember is that it was someone who sat down with me and actually talked to me and heard what I had to say, and I guess see me as a person, not just another number or someone who's homeless or needs help.
It's completely rewarding, not only for you, but for just the opportunities that you're giving to young people who might not get those opportunities otherwise.
I decided to take this job because I knew I was always going to be in a helping profession. I like to help people, and what better way than to provide them with a home to live in for the rest of their lives.
A lot of people, when they come through the door, they've lost that sense of hope. They've really struggled for a long period of time, and they haven't had anybody there to really say, hey, I care and I'm going to be here to help you no matter what that looks like.
If you just open one door into this sector, it can lead to many, many paths for you. It's a good start. It'll give you a solid grounding. So just open the door, come on in, and you can start your career and go in a lot of different directions of your choosing.
This is a great sector for a young person just starting out to get their feet wet, and it allows people to really try it on for size, to get that first-hand experience, to realize that this is a really good fit for me. I like the way it feels working in this sector. I like the impact I'm having on my community.
I think there's a lot of pressure on young people to figure out what they're supposed to do with their lives, and they're supposed to pick one choice and stick with it, and I don't think the real world is like that. So in this sector, I think it's really perfect that you have so many different opportunities with so many different kinds of jobs, and you're encouraged to move around.
In my experience, this sector has really helped me advance my career. Starting out as a young man, I guess pursuing an education degree in the beginning, that led to other employment opportunities in other nonprofits. My skill building continued to grow while allowing me to work in a sector that I really enjoyed. I love going to work every day. I love the people that I'm meeting, I love the people I'm working with, and I love the impact that I can have.
One of these days I may become the executive director of one of these organizations.
If you choose to work with us, we'll help you find your career goals within the sector or perhaps beyond the sector if you want to do something else. But we stick with people and we support our own.
Anywhere from doing the frontline work, moving your way up into a management, getting really creative and helping to develop some of the policies around how we work with people that are marginalized, right into the construction end of things in terms of building more affordable housing for people, and you could take that right on up.
We've got a lot of issues facing us coming around the corner. So if we want to end homelessness, we need a lot of creative young people to come on board with us to help us in that direction. So it's going to be some exciting work, but we need their youthful energy and their passion to help us.
I think our future goal is to just keep getting bigger and better at what we do. So there's more and more opportunities coming up.
What we're looking at now is to end homelessness across the province of Newfoundland and Labrador through programs and services like this. I think it's an achievable goal.
My first piece of advice would be just to try it. I mean, there's lots of volunteer opportunities within wherever you are in this province or anywhere in the country, and I think once you get in and once you get your feet a little wet into what the type of work that people are doing, it would be hard to not want to make a career out of that.
But it's nice to see a young person, a young breath of life, new fresh ideas to approach that, to bring something new to the table. And that's probably what will change it. There's a new idea, a new person.